Howdy traders, and welcome to this IndexGain tutorial video where I'm going to show you how to use the BuzzPro Advanced Player Screener with Match Stats, actual match data report as part of the BuzzPro suite of reports on the IndexGain website. How to use this report to find players who might be likely to move in the summer, but from teams who are on the verge of relegation in their respective PB leagues. So if you're a premium member, the first thing to do is head over to the BuzzPro Pro Analysis Advanced Player Screener report here on the IndexGain website. If you've not signed up as a premium member, you can do by just clicking on the Join Now button. And head over to this report and scroll to the bottom where you'll see a bunch of filters which you can use to filter out your report. The first one we're going to use is the teams. So we're going to actually now enter our teams. So Villarreal, who I know are at the bottom. Celta, Vigo are also at the bottom. In the French league, we've got Guingamp. We've also got Augsburg, who are in the Bundesliga, along with Stuttgart. And then let's just pick a Premier League team. Huddersfield. Let's choose Burnley. No idea what data this is going to throw up, but as you can see, as I'm selecting my teams, you can see that the report is updating. I think there's also maybe one more team, which is Monaco, who might get relegated, but they're down at the bottom end of league anyway. And then we've got a couple of Bologna, Serie A, as well as Empoli. I think another team is Rayo Vallecano. So I've selected a bunch of teams across all the PB leagues who are likely to be relegated or in with a shout of being relegated. So I now have a list of all the players from those teams in my report who are sorted by default by price. So the most expensive player out of the teams I've selected is Villarreal's midfielder Chukwueze. And now you can see a bunch of match stats across here, as well as his football index data, which is peak scores, as well as any dividends won, and implied dividends, which is an IndexGain metric which you can find out more about on the IndexGain site. Within the blog section, just do a search for implied dividends. So what I can now do is either start filtering the report by age, or whether players who have just started more than 20 games or average over, I don't know, 40, 50 passes per game. I'm just going to leave this open for now and just start sorting by goals. So I want to see who the goal scorers are from those teams that I've got selected in my list. So top is Caputo. Now he's 31 years old. Aspas, 31 years old. Are those players likely to move in the summer to a team further up the leagues that they're in? Who knows? It might be that you might approach this from I'm only going to look at players who are under 26, in which case you'll use the age filter down here. And up there is Raul Thomas of Rayo Vallecano, and as you can see, when you hover over, you get his price chart. Over the last 7 days, his increase, but if you look at his season price chart there at the bottom, he's been steadily creeping up and his form has picked up. But also, it could mean that traders are already on to the player in terms of a summer move. So if you got in a month or two ago, you'll be reaping the rewards, or you may actually find that you're going to jump on this player now and his stats are actually showing that he's scoring well. He scored 12 goals, 3 of those are game-winning goals. He's having a high percentage shots, so for a team that's at the bottom of the league, he seems to be the main target man. He seems to be the main player who's likely to score goals for the team. So if I just sort this now by shots, you can see Raul Thomas is actually at the top there. We've got Falcao here second. He's 33 years old though, so just be mindful of ages as well. Gerard Moreno, who's I think played for Spain as well, he's down there in third position, 27 years old. He's had 82 shots, 35 of those on target, and in terms of goals, he's not scored as many as the others in this list. We've also got Gregoritsch here for Stuttgart, who's 24 years old. For Augsburg, who's 24 years old. If we sort by PB average, so this could be players who move to other teams and also continue their PB averages, achieving high volume of scores across the season. So Benassa, who's been talked about recently on the Slack platform, as part of the IndexGain trader community. We've got Brais Mendes of Celta Vigo, who's only 22 years old. So these are young players who are scoring very well. Mendes here is getting in and amongst the goals, and he's also scored over 150 3 times this season. So one to watch out for, definitely there. Huddersfield player Aaron Moy, who's 28, but if we look at his stats and his implied dividend yield, I think he may be nearly 12% implied dividend yield. So he should have won 6p in dividends at this point in this season. He's actually won 1p. So he's been scoring. He's been very unlucky this season for a team that's down at the bottom of the Premier League. And so you can start to filter this list, and if we start looking at things like crosses, so you might be interested in players who are on set pieces or cross high volume of crosses, so they have more chance of achieving an assist. So you can see here Pascual, who's at a horrible age of 37 years old, but Philippe Max, 25 years old, and I know he's been on the radar of a few traders on IndexGain, who was on the brink of getting into the German National League last season, but Joachim Löw actually said that his style of play wasn't suited for how Germany wanted to play in the World Cup last season, which came as a bit of a shocker. But he's performing very well again this season for Augsburg, so he could be again somebody that moves in the summer to a better team in the Bundesliga. So you can use this to draw up a short list of players. It's a great way of selecting teams at the bottom of the league and looking at who and which players have performed well this season, and part of a short list of players who could be moving in the summer. One way you can use this is to draw up the shortlist and then use the My List feature on Slack platform, and you can find out more about the My List feature, which essentially is adding players to a watch list on Slack and then running price moves on that watch list every day or every hour or every 2 or 3 days to see which players within your watch list are moving up in price, moving down in price, and might help you time your buy. You might find that they've already risen quite high, but as you can see here, if I just hover over Philippe Max, he's not at his peak price in the season, which was 49p, so I might add him to my list feature on Slack and keep a track of his price movements on a daily basis. If he drops to 37p, that could be my entry point where I decide to buy in. So hopefully that's helpful for all traders who are looking to build up a short list of players from teams that are likely to get relegated, and add them to their watch list on Slack, and hopefully gives you a good entry point to buy into. Hopefully that's been useful. Do check out the suite of BuzzPro reports on the IndexGain website with match stats, and you can compare players. You can also look at players' recent form. You can also do price analysis and all sorts. So head over to the website. Also want to plug the IndexGain in-play dividends report, which helps traders track their in-play dividends that they should receive on a daily basis. Or if you want to have a look at historical analysis, you can head over and start filtering and sorting the data from goals, assists and clean sheets, and also in-play dividends historical yield as well. So head over to the IndexGain website. If you've not signed up, join now. Thanks for watching.